Yeah. Okay. All right, now we're doing it.
Just got to get it out.
Hey everyone, I'm Phil from PalSource, and I'm here with one of our pals, Quynh, Chef Quynh, at Restaurant Gish in San Jose, California. Quynh, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight we're going to be making a quick and simple dish that I have found to be a crowd pleaser amongst many palates. It's called Cá Kho, but I'm going to put a little twist to it to kind of make it fun and easier to eat on a weeknight.
Cool, let's do it.
Cá Kho is a dish that traditionally is cooked in a clay pot. And at home, not everyone has a clay pot. Everyone has a saucepan and a regular pan. So we're gonna be working with what I think at home, typically a household kitchen would have. We're doing Cá Kho because we have fish tonight, but there are different versions of Cá Kho. There's Cá Kho, like chicken. You can do chicken, you can do tofu, you can do any kind of kho, yeah. Okay. First step though is going to be making the rice. So I'm going to show you how to make rice real quick. Just remember that whenever you're trying to figure out how much rice to make, whatever is in your pot, it will probably double or triple the amount in size.
I heard just you keep that in mind. This thing, right? When you
that's for the water. Yeah, that's
okay.
We're definitely doing that.
And I just fill it up?
Yeah, just take your right hand and like rake through the rice. You're cleaning the rice. So all the extra carbohydrates, all the extra crap that's on the outside of this rice.
Your forearms must be strong as shit.
Start pouring.
Just don't pour out any rice.
Right. That's a sin.
Right. What happens if I don't wash it? If I'm like, I don't have time for this washing.
So your rice will be extra sticky. The grains won't be able to like separate themselves because the carbohydrates want to like stick and bond to each other.
It's unclean rice.
It's not unclean rice. It's just like you want to hold on to what it has.
So I feel like I am undressing the rice.
I guess you didn't think of it that way. But you'll feel like the rice kind of changing in texture, like not being so hard. And that's when you kind of like more gently start mixing it around. You notice now when the water goes in, you can see the rice. Yeah. Then after that you're safe. And this is when the finger thing comes into play.
So this is when I finger the undressed rice. All right, almost. That's enough. Abort. Oh.
It's too much water. What you want is to start getting this water to boil, and then we're going to wait until most of the water has evaporated.
And then you put the lid on?
Put the lid on, turn it on to real low, and let it continue to steam. In the back of our head, we have to remember there's rice going on. Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to start doing the marinade for the fish. We have an onion. We have the white parts of a green onion. I always find that whenever I work with green onion, usually the tops I use for garnish or whatever. And then you're left with this, which has a different purpose, such as what we're going to be doing right now, and Thai chili.
Okay.
Thai chilies to me are the superior chili pepper. They have the heat and the flavor. So we only need part of this. I just want to show you one and then have you practice on the other. So the cut for the marinade is a pretty simple one. We just want to get some of these onion flavor out. We don't need a ton. So it's called a julienne. They don't have to be perfect because it's just for the marinade. So at this point, you see how like it feels kind of like unstable. Yeah. I would flip the onion
like
down.
That a little bit?
But on the board.
So
like.
Oh, like that?
Yeah. And then
got it. Oh, sorry. You said you didn't want perfect. Sorry about that.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna put this to the side. We're gonna cut off the root end of it, and then you're just going to chop the rest of it. Again, you don't need perfection here.
Okay. There must be something with the knife because it's going a lot slower when I do it.
A chili pepper is it is what it is. You need the heat, otherwise it's not the chili. Go get a bell pepper, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, I always keep the seeds in. I don't deseed any
okay.
of my chili peppers. Have the point like nowhere near your fingertips.
Yeah.
And then press down on the point first before you
start
drag
the cut.
out.
Okay.
And then you
Turn
flip it over to the
around,
other side
there.
and do the same thing.
All right, so yeah, I'm actually gonna do it that way. Like that. Like that.
We'll chop that.
Just chop it up?
Yeah. As soon as you have that rocking motion, now you're using the rest of that blade to like cut all the way through.
And I saw you use this. Like, what is this thing called?
Oh, that's a bench scraper. We use the bench scraper because the blades are precious. We want to keep them sharp for as long as possible. So to save the blade of the knife, we switch over to the bench scraper to grab, and also it grabs more and it's more efficient than the blade of your knife. Okay, so for the marinade, in a small bowl, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt.
Just 1 teaspoon of salt?
Yep, 4 teaspoons of sugar. 4? Yep. Yeah, I like a lot of black peppers, so I go ham on that.
Say when.
Yeah. Okay, like I wait until I'm like, oh
I can smell it
black
a little
pepper.
bit. I can smell it.
Yeah, this is fish sauce.
Got it.
We're gonna do about 8 of those.
So that was 1.
Yeah.
What's in fish sauce?
Typically it's just anchovies that's been fermented, like anchovies in water. So now, if you look at the rice, so most of the water is gone, right?
Yep.
Like you don't even see it on the top anymore. Then you cover it and then you let it steam and let it finish off. So now we're going to whisk that mix to kind of like, dissipate some of the sugar and the salt.
How's my form? Am I whisking the right way?
Yeah. Great. And then let's add in all of these ingredients. And then just so you don't have fish sauce smelling fingers all day.
I appreciate that.
Give you a glove.
And
you're gonna squeeze the onions and get all the onion juice out into that marinade.
This is kind of fun. It's like a stress ball. Do you normally wear a glove, or you just don't mind the fish sauce?
I don't mind it. It's part of the lifestyle.
Part of the life? The chef life.
Yeah. So now we have that marinade ready. We're gonna grab the fish out.
Star of the show.
Star of the show. You're gonna put that and rub it all over the fish.
Just drop the whole thing in
drop
there?
the whole thing. It looks like we need more fish sauce.
Oh, that's at least 8 more of those tiny spoons. Move
pick it up and just kind of let that marinade go around it. Yep, all right, that's it. And then we're gonna cover it and put it in the fridge for at least an hour. But you can go all the way for 24 hours if you wanna do it ahead of time.
Okay.
You can get rid of that glove now. Next, we're gonna start our caramel.
Is it caramel or caramel? Or is that a great debate?
I've never debated it. Okay, we're going to move this to the burner just to keep it warm.
All right, so for the caramel?
Yes, for the caramel, I don't know, that's probably like a 1/4 cup of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna add about half of the 1/4 cup is 1/8 of a cup. So just about that much of water. It's still kind of like pasty. It's not like super watery or anything like that. So I have this on high for right now. Watch it until it becomes like an amber color. And then we're gonna take it off the heat and stop the cooking process by adding more water to it.
Okay.
The ratio is 1-to-1 ultimately, but you're gonna use half of the water in the beginning to get it to the caramel state.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then you're gonna stop it with the other half. You wanna make this part ahead of time because later on when we have to cook the fish, you have more control on how the caramel turns out. And I've turned it on high now. When we start to get closer to the color that we want, we're gonna start bringing it down so we can control as much as possible and not reach like the burning point. Yeah. When you're working with caramel, you do want to be careful. Like it holds a higher boiling point. Yeah. One caramel burn is all it takes to like.
Oh, have you had a caramel burn?
Oh yeah. I like dropped down and was in fetal position on the ground.
All right, so what do we do with this lava?
Okay, so now I would turn it down a bit. Yep.
Okay.
So right there, we're gonna stop.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna spatter, so be careful about that. So now we have this nice like amber color. It's as thick as like simple syrup. Now we can get started on our slaw to contrast the sweetness and the spiciness and the savoriness of the fish. Yeah, let's make the vinaigrette first. Feels right.
Thank you for letting me use your knife.
Yeah. Cilantro has a lot of flavor in the stems. Whenever I want to make a vinaigrette or a dressing with cilantro, the stems are what gives
most
a better
of the flavor,
yeah.
Not just the leaves. This gives me an appreciation for chefs. This stuff is like, oh yeah, you watch people do it on television shows and you know, oh, that seems to be really easy. I can do that.
Yeah.
And then you do it, you know.
And then we're gonna have probably, let's do like an eighth of this half onion.
So this is right cut like this?
Yep. Just down, right?
And that's it?
Yep. And then you're gonna rough chop that. So you're gonna rough chop
like this?
the garlic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my fingers curled.
I would start with 1 chili pepper. Let's rough chop that, and then we'll see if
up to
that's
the stem,
enough.
right?
Yeah, up to the stem. I have 3 limes here. Hopefully that's enough. And you're just gonna run along the shape of the lime.
Okay. Is that looking good?
Yeah. Pull it towards that thumb.
Okay.
Right, and then you just move to the next part. You're just gonna do that all around.
Okay. All right.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Surprise!
Hello.
Hi, hey, come in. What are you doing? It's like your restaurant. So this is an active kitchen. We're just borrowing the space from these guys back here at Restaurant Gish. So they're gonna start working in the background and...
I'll be quick.
So after we zest it, we're going to juice it.
All right. What made you get into cooking?
My mom's a chef, so I grew up like waking up where she's cooking in the kitchen and doing her catering gigs, and yeah, she would cook every single day. And
It has to be nice to have a chef at home.
yeah, yes it is. Yep. My whole family, they're very like strongly opinionated eaters. Everybody knows how to cook. We always watch cooking shows. I get inspiration.
So you're pretty much a
that.
chef family.
Yeah, we're pretty serious about eating.
Oh, you're much faster at this than I am. I love it. It feels like this is we're now moving at restaurant speed. So you're juicing this. We're juicing the limes, and what are we making this for?
This is the dressing for the slaw. So now I have one of these handy dandy stick blenders, immersion blenders.
Okay. Oh, do I
Blend that
just
up.
squeeze something? Oh,
Yeah.
right here.
So while I do this, I'm looking for like the aroma of, is it spicy enough? If it's not, then I add in another chili pepper.
It doesn't smell spicy to me.
It doesn't? Yeah. So that means another chili pepper goes
And do I
in.
just keep going?
Yeah, keep going. I'm just gonna throw that in.
You chop it up that fast? Wow.
So now we're gonna do all the vegetables for the slaw.
Okay.
We're going to peel all these carrots. I have one of each color right now because I just want it to look pretty. The mandolin is like essentially just like another sharp knife.
What do you call that again?
Mandolin. You do want to be careful with mandolins because it's very easy. One of my first lessons in my mom's kitchen actually was like how sharp this blade is.
Yeah.
It's very easy to like nick your knuckles while you're going down.
Oh.
So do be careful.
Very careful.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to not become a kitchen horror story.
Yeah.
So let's say that I'm fresh out of college. What would you buy, or what would you recommend that someone buy?
I would say go with the essentials. Don't really go for like the gadgety things.
Oh.
They tend to only have one purpose. I think you definitely need a good, like a knife, like a chef's knife. You want some tongs, you want a cutting board, you want a rubber spatula, like a 3-quart pot, and like a 7 to 9 inch pan.
So you don't need a whole lot to get started. All right.
So with
got carrots.
With the carrots that we have now, you're gonna stack up 1 or 2 or 3, like depending on what you're comfortable with. And we're going to slice thinly lengthwise.
Ooh, that is next level. Pandemonium ensues. Is that looking good?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be very careful to not chop up my fingers. Yeah.
My right hand never lets go of my knife.
Oh, I see.
And then if you need to move, then flip your knife over so you're not hurting my blade. And yep.
Okay. I feel like if I hurt the blade.
You buy me a new knife.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ooh, I think that was my first excellent.
Yeah. I mean, if we could shoot like a before and after of how you were holding this bench knife versus like where we are now,
helps to have a
I'm very happy. So for the cabbage, I'll just like show you a little bit. So I guess there's 2 ways we can do this. You can do it with your knife because the knife is already here, or you can just run it on the mandolin.
Oh.
And that's super fast too, and very, very consistent. You always want to make sure the object is like stable in your hand.
Okay.
Like don't be questioning like, oh, is it going to make it through this blade?
Yeah.
You know, what happened?
There you go.
We were
Did I
using
mess it up?
so well, and then all of a sudden. Next is some celery. I like the taste of celery. You can put whatever you want in this slaw. Sometimes I want to splurge a little. I'll add some like colorful radishes.
Ooh. So I'm using this or I'm cutting this?
So here, because celery is so fibrous, from here I would just like chop that way.
It looked like you were deciding which way to chop. What were you thinking about?
That's personal preference. I'm just trying to figure out what would look good in there. This style of blade like does well for this, like, I
started using less pressure.
Oh, good.
And it actually felt better when I did that.
Because now you're paying attention to the knife, right? So
All right.
now we're gonna mix our vinaigrette that we did over there.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, we never tasted it. We should taste it first.
Cool.
That's something that's really important while you're cooking, to always taste.
Tiny spoons. Do you have a million of these? And I assume you only use a spoon once, right?
Yes. Well, if it's your home and your dinner, like who cares? But here,
that is zesty.
Yeah. Let's start with 2 tablespoons of that.
Okay.
I'll just pour a little bit. I'll tell you when to stop. Stop.
Could you see my confusion on what's a tablespoon?
Here's a big spoon. We'll mix it up.
So this is the same approach for making any kind of slaw. A coleslaw.
Yeah. Okay. So this doesn't look like well dressed to me, so I will add more. You can always add. You can't subtract once it's in. So
take your time with it.
Take your time with it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That looks good. That can go into the fridge until we're ready for it. Now we're ready for the fish. So our fish is nice and marinated. So this we're gonna put on low for now while we chop this garlic. So what we're gonna do is put this oil in, put the fish in to begin cooking. At a certain point, I'll ask you to put the garlic in to kind of get it cooking. We don't want to burn the garlic. That's why we don't put the garlic in first, because the fish will take some time
to cook.
Okay. Yeah. Then we'll add
the caramel.
Is
that caramel or caramel?
And add some coconut water. And then we'll taste a little bit to see how it tastes. If it's too sweet, we'll add fish sauce, or it's perfect.
Probably gonna be perfect.
It's probably perfect, yes. So now you're gonna add about
some oil?
A tablespoon. I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Okay, let's put the fish in. So we're at like a medium heat right now.
Yep.
We're gonna let the fish go for a little bit.
Okay.
What you should smell now is like some of the like savoriness from the fish sauce.
There are stages. It starts savory and then it becomes sweet. So use your nose to note the change, and then you'll probably get it over time.
Yeah, you can tell like there's some browning underneath it. At this point, we have to be ready to do the next things because we don't want that garlic to burn. We are at like a medium low right now. We're gonna put in a little bit of oil.
Okay. Teaspoon, here we go.
Yeah, and hit the pan.
Hit the pan first. Boom, teaspoon.
Yeah, that's good.
Nailed it. Garlic in the oil.
Yep.
Yes, chef.
You can just like move the garlic just all around so that
it doesn't.
So it's just not cooking on one side. Right?
Okay.
If you smell this garlic, it still smells savory.
Yeah.
Right? Garlic has stages of of its cooking. It will go from savory, which might be what you want, and then you'll stop it there, or you can like slowly bring it to a sweeter.
Sweetness?
Yeah,
What's after sweetness?
because it's caramelizing.
Yeah, I think I do that a lot.
This sounds like it's a little too quiet, so I'm gonna turn the heat up. The heat on your stove, there's like different ways to regulate what's going on in this pan, right? You can like turn up and down the flame or your heat source. You can move the pan itself up and down and away from the heat source. There's like several different ways for you to like control what's going on in this pan.
Got it.
Okay, so here I'm feeling like this is the beginning of it exiting out of savory entrance.
I can smell the difference.
Okay, I would add maybe a little bit of black pepper.
More black pepper? We did a lot of this. Yeah, love the
black pepper.
More black pepper.
For this dish especially.
So the black pepper is like cowbell.
This fish, you can tell that it's more cooked on the bottom now because it's like an opaque white.
Yeah, I see that.
So now is a good time to like gently just lift up the pan a little bit and like try to balance the fish onto
the spatula.
Your spatula, and then be sure to flip it over where there's no caramel. All the caramel's over here, okay? Because you don't want to splatter caramel on yourself. And very gently, because cod is a delicate fish, bring it over to the other side. What we're shooting for is for it to be thick. Using the coconut water and the fish sauce is a great way to control this caramel.
Yeah.
If you find that you've taken the caramel too far where it's like sticky, then you use coconut water or fish sauce, and usually coconut water, to kind of thin it out and bring it back out. And you can do like, oh, well, I want it thicker. Well, I can add more sugar by adding this caramel. Okay, so now we're gonna add about like two teaspoons.
2 teaspoons? Right there.
Okay.
Oh, I think I got it.
I don't know what that was. Tablespoons, teaspoons, we'll call it teaspoons. Mix the stuff together like that. We're almost done. This is a good time to taste. Again, this is caramel, so be very careful.
Okay.
Just like a little bit.
Okay.
Right, and then like. All right, so it's pretty sweet. So I would add
a tablespoon of fish sauce.
A little bit of fish sauce.
Teaspoon of fish sauce.
It's easier to say a little bit.
Yeah.
And just until it tastes right to you.
Trial and error, and then it's perfect.
Writing recipes is like one of the hardest things.
On PalSource, your recipes are some of the most frequented pieces. A lot of people look at it, and I think you get a lot of likes for them, and so the hard work pays off.
Yeah, well, I'm glad, because it's the worst. Like, if you ever get to a point where like you see this fish is like overcooking, then you can remove the fish, finish out the sauce, and then bring it back together later.
So how do I know this? Normally I would take this off. Now I would say that fish is done.
I agree with that.
I was gonna get that one. That didn't take very long. This seemed pretty easy to do. And it's probably something that you can use for a lot of different dishes.
Right, so now we can assemble.
Our rice is fluffed, our fish is cooked, we're ready to plate.
Yes. So I'll do the first one, is the fish. I'll do the hard one. Pick which side is the better looking side. And I like to nestle it into the rice.
Yeah, I see you're pushing down on it just a little bit.
Yeah, and then
the handle might be warm.
Dip the sauce. And we finish off a little bit of slaw. I'll like try to form it tight here because it's naturally going to fall off.
Yeah.
Try to keep it together. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So that
looks really good. And already not as good of a job as what you did, but I'm
very great. Nestle that in the
I
middle.
think that side looks the best. So nestle that in. And then my caramel sauce. I'm just using my chef instincts right now.
I would put more sauce. This sauce is like the key to all of this.
Oh, the sauce is the boss.
Yeah, the caramel, yeah.
So then I try to get this tight here because it's gonna fall eventually.
Good. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
And there's what is this dish again?
Cá Kho.
Cá Kho.
Cá Kho.
Cá Kho.
Yeah, which is caramelized fish.
You know what? It looks good, but I said we put it to the test. All right, now we're gonna put our meal to the test with the chefs at the Restaurant Gish Kitchen in San Jose, California. All right, so today we are having jasmine rice with black cod and a 4-carat slaw that we call Cá Kho. Please try it and let me know what you think.
Thank you. Ooh. Who cut these vegetables? Really nice. Ooh.
Thank you.
Cut
I
these
did it with a pal.
vegetables. Mmm,
Hooray.
yummy.
I like the salad.
Yeah. Salad passes.
What do you think?
That's real good chicken. It's chicken, right?
Yeah.
I love the salad. There's a lot of seasoning in there, which I love
Yeah.
it. Thank you. It was really delicious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for this adventure. Chef Quynh, how did I do?
I think you did really well. You're a great listener. You were able to like make quick changes as things were happening. I'm really happy with what we came up with, and if there's ever a step you forget or any questions or any more details, reach out to me on PalSource.
You know that I'm going to. I'll see you at the next adventure, and thanks for being a pal.
You're welcome. In the words of my mother, you can always be better.
Look at the camera when you say that.